A San Jose police officer has resigned after his racist text messages, including one about black people, came to light during an investigation. Mark McNamara, a 6-year veteran of the San Jose Police Department, resigned this week after learning of an investigation into text messages. McNamara also shot Mr. Green, a college football player, in March of 2022 after Green helped break up a fight near San Jose State University. Green later filed a federal lawsuit against San Jose and the police department in April of 2022. Discovered McNamara's alarming text messages while conducting an internal investigation into an unrelated criminal matter. Quote, I don't stand for this. It's disgusting and it's horrible that we have an officer that thinks this way. They also added that he demonstrated racial bias, and that was from San Jose Police Chief Anthony Mata. Police released a total of 10 pages full of text recovered from McNamara. In one of the text messages, McNamara appeared to refer to Green, who was holding a gun that he had wrestled away from an attacker when McNamara shot him. Quote, N word wanted to carry a gun in the Wild West. Not on my watch. In a later message in June of 2023, McNamara appeared to reference conversations with Green's attorney and the city's attorney about Green's lawsuit against the city. In one message, McNamara stated that, quote, "I only had to tell the city attorney what's what. Quote, I'm like, dude, I don't give an ish about this case. I'm white. He's black. He's going to win, and I don't care. It's a bitch. Whatever they decide has no bearing on me whatsoever. It's basically kangaroo court. In the following message, McNamara stated that Green's legal team that they should be bowing to me and bringing me gifts since I saved a fellow N-word by making him rich as F. Otherwise, he would have lived a life of poverty and crime. Green's attorney, Angel Alexander, stated to the news that Green was shocked and pissed to learn about the racist text messages. Quote, the one honestly that sticks out the most in my head was the text that stated, quote, I hate black people, plain and simple. To see it in black and white on a piece of paper, there is no guessing or speculation. And you read more and it gets worse. Chief Mata stated that a second police department employee who was not named was on the receiving end of some of McNamara's text messages and had engaged in other concerning dialogue with McNamara. The second employee has been placed on administrative leave pending an investigation. So I'm just trying to figure out where's the part that black people should trust the police. Anybody? Anybody? You literally had a cop talking to another cop telling him how he doesn't like black people, how he felt that Mr. Green, who helped to stop a fight and disarm somebody, just wanted to carry a gun and all this other type of stuff. Like I said before, the racist tones and the aggressions throughout the yo, this is why black people have always had a problem with the police because you cannot trust them because you don't know who anybody is. You don't know who anybody is. This man showed himself, but it was by way of somebody, just so happening to stumble upon the text messages, finding the text messages. However it is that it took place, the text messages are out there. Anybody who was linked or associated with those text messages, they need to be let directly off of the force. They need to be stripped of their badge and their service weapon so that they can never again serve as a police officer because you don't need to be on the force. If you got that type of bias on you, you don't need to be serving people. You don't have the right to serve anybody with that type of mindset, with that type of energy, with that type of mentality. You literally stated that, oh, everybody needs to, he needs to be bowing and all of this other type of stuff because if it wasn't for me, he'll be living a life of poverty. Now he gonna be rich. Like I said, this is the type of reckless behavior that you want on the police force. That you want that's going to be associated with your name and brand and badge. Like this is what you want. Somebody that's liable to cause a lawsuit because he's a straight bigot, because he's a straight racist. And this is a cop. Like I told people before, he's supposed to protect and serve. No matter who it is, he's supposed to protect and serve. But this also brings up the video that I showcased in a live stream where a black man was telling the story of an elder Caucasian male where he was stating how he used to be a firefighter some years back. I'm talking about like 70s, 60s, 50s. And how it was normal for them to allow black people to be in burning houses. It was normal. That was an everyday thing that they would sit up there and do. They wouldn't really sit up there and rush for the fire. They really wouldn't sit up there and do anything. They would just stop and stare. Shout out to One Republic. They would just sit there and stop and stare. And it's the same thing this cop would do. He's not going to risk his life for anybody black. He's not going to do that at all. He ain't going to try to save nobody life either. Even if they were the victim, he will still try to pin some evidence on them, trying to make them seem as though that they are the perpetrator. But again, this is somebody that's supposed to protect and serve, and then America wants black people to, follow and obey the cops. When the cops can't follow and obey their own laws, their own rules, they can't even respect human beings as human beings. They still have the mentality as if black people are subhuman, as if black people are lower than dogs. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You don't need to be serving nowhere. You need to be just pushing a broom in a desert for the rest of your life. That's all you need to be doing. That's it. That's it. But I promise you, somebody out there is going to body block for the cops because they got a family member or know somebody. Oh, you can't say all cops are the same because of this was my experience and this is. I ain't trying to hear none of that. I'm not trying to hear none of that. Like I said, you can go through and find a lot of black people that have had a variety of negative experiences with cops. It don't matter if they were pulled over 99 times, don't matter if it was a ticket, don't matter if it was the wrong name, don't matter if it was a raid, don't matter if it was stop and frisk. It don't matter if somebody was flicking the lights directly on them. It don't matter. Even if somebody was pinning some fake evidence directly on them or some actual drugs just trying to sit up there and make an arrest. It don't matter what it is. You got black people out there that can pinpoint and tell you stories and incidences, or better yet, give you paperwork. They can show you a complete trail. But even with all of that stuff, somebody will still body block and say, like, oh, well, that's not all cops. That's not this. That's not that. Well, up until further notice, it is all cops. Up until further notice, it is all cops. Because, like I said before, they talk in their own groups. They got Facebook groups. They got Snapchats. They got all these other types of things online that they use to communicate with, where they want to send all of these messages. Like I said before, I have videos up there where there have been trails of cops that were on these Facebook groups putting out all of these ridiculous messages, all these racist messages, and it had to do with black people, and some of them also had to do with Obama during the time that he was serving in office. But like I said, people are gonna find out you know sooner rather than later, and people are gonna find out better than what I can tell them.